Welcome back, everybody, to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour. Kinda? This is not going to be a traditional quick look, but traditionally I do have the Casual Hour's own Bobby Pease with me. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Chase.
Bobby, are you excited? Are you so excited right now?
You know, we've done a lot of great things together.
We are friends, buddy.
I know. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I don't know if I would consider myself. I don't dislike Super Robot Wars. I think I'm uninterested in Super Robot Wars.
Yes, you're apathetic to robots, to warring, to things that are super. I get it.
I know that this is incredibly important to you. I know that you had me help you put together some stuff for your YouTube channel where you've been pretty exclusively showing people a version of this game, and I know how excited you are since we podcast together about this. So at the end of the day, if this means supporting my friend, I am happy to support my friend. And I know based off of you did a deep dive one night for the Casual Hour.
That's true.
People are into what you have to say about your robots. So I'm here to learn and to mute my mic when I need to and cheer you on. So
I'm a relative newcomer to Super Robot Wars. This franchise has gone on a while. This one is Super Robot Wars 30. It is not the 30th Super Robot Wars. In fact, there are more than 30 Super Robot Wars games out here. It is the 30th anniversary of Super Robot Wars. Although, in English, the games have not been coming out here very much. Almost at all until kinda now. We're playing on a Nintendo Switch. This is an import version, but it is officially out on Steam in America. So that's the first time a Super Robot Wars has actually come over to the West officially in an official capacity. Other games have come in through Asian translations, like East Asian translations, like Hong Kong, like where they still speak some English and use English. Those previous games like Super Robot Wars X, V, and T, those games have come over. You could import those because they were translated into English. They just weren't officially brought over here. And that's a lot to do with licensing, because these games feature a ton of different anime mech franchises and stuff them all into one convenient box. Yeah, what's up?
I was going to say, I know that you've been showing this on your channel, and this is one of the rare videos, I think, where we're going to put it up on the Casual Hours YouTube channel, but also yours for Chasey K Plays. But if you are coming from Chasey K Plays, like and subscribe to him, and like and subscribe to the Casual Hour. This isn't a quick look, but we do videos in a similar vein. This is a look. We sometimes do. This is a look.
Yeah, this is gonna be a deep look, because I understand this is the first time a lot of people are seeing Super Robot Wars 30, because again, like I said, it's the first time it's coming over to the West.
Yep.
These are deeply mechanical turn-based strategy games. And it's a lot. It can be extremely overwhelming for people. It was very overwhelming for me when I first played Super Robot Wars X in 2018. Well, I mean, I know it's overwhelming for you because you also don't watch anime, so you don't know any of these franchises. But there's an overwhelmingness to the amount of mechanics that you have available. Anyway,
Chase, you just brought up my first question. Naturally.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Is this game approachable for non-fans of anime?
Yes. I think you can play this game without knowing the anime. I came into Super Robot Wars X really only knowing about Gundam and Gurren Lagann. And there are way more franchises than just those two that show up in that game. And it actually kind of interested me. Ooh, what are these robots? What are these pilots? I'm kind of interested in them, and then I actually started to go and watch some of their shows. And I think the same thing is true about Super Wars 30. Okay, Bobby, let me kind of set the stage so we can get into the game proper.
For sure.
There was a demo out on this game. Unfortunately, the demo does not extend to the Steam PC version. It was only on PS4 and 5 and Switch. But I played through the demo. The demo was the first 4-ish stages of the game, and this is now the full game, and I have played the first mission past the demo, and that's what I'm going to show you here for this as well. So, there's a lot to get here, Bobby, and I'm going to try to explain all this stuff. I I think it's probably better if we just get into a battle first, and then we can get back out to this kind of screen, and then I can show you all the little details. But I think showing you in a real battle will help out a little bit. So, this game also is a little bit different than previous Super Robot Wars games. Those games were relatively linear. You do this mission, and then the next mission was the one you had to do. There would be a couple times where there would be route splits where you could say, I'd like to take my half of the team and do this thing over here, and then that other squad is doing whatever, and we'll meet up a couple chapters later. This game does not do that, or at least hasn't done it in this way. It gives you a choice right off the bat. Do you want to go into space, or do you want to stay on Earth? And whichever route you choose...
Easy for me to choose.
What would you choose, Bobby?
Get me the hell off this rock.
Hell yes. I also chose space, one, because I knew the Gundam characters would immediately show up if I went to space, and two, because space kicks ass and Earth sucks. But it gives you that option immediately, and the mission structure of this game is set up differently. It's not strictly linear. It actually reminds me a little bit more of something like Metal Gear Solid 5, where you have these...
Oh, yeah.
So you have kind of main missions here. You see that this one says recommended here at the top. This one with a star means that's a story mission. That if I do this, that will move the story ahead. These other missions I don't have to do, but I could, and you still get bonuses out of that. You see all of these missions say C on them. That's a difficulty, and the game tells you how difficult each mission would be based on your unit strength, which takes a lot of factors into consideration against what the enemy unit strength. So all these are C, all these are relatively easy. Now, there are also onboard missions, and these missions are can be lots of different kinds of things. So we've got some of these, all of these are talking missions. You can see the little icon with the speech bubble. So there's no combat in any of these, but we can get to a point...
like moving the story, right?
Not even moving the story. These are all like side things, like just side conversations that are happening on the big ship that we're all on.
Got it.
And they can also get you some bonuses. You see in the rewards in the bottom right, there are different things that I can get. Like we can run into one of these. I'll do one of these DLC ones. I also have the Ultimate Edition here, so it comes with all the DLC, some of the bonus missions, and bonus things that come with the season passes. These are extremely quick, so I don't mind coming in here. So yeah, hey, it's really just going to say, hey, you got the bonus mission pack, here's some stuff. The Dreisträger is, I'm probably butchering that, but the Dreisträger is your big battleship that everybody is on.
Okay.
This is our XO, he's the second in command. His name is Reynold. He was a teacher, and everybody else, you're all from the military academy, and this guy was your teacher, and some shit went down, and now all the students are like, you know what, you all graduated, and get on this ship right now because we need all of you. All the people who were supposed to be on this ship got murdered.
God.
got murked by the incoming invasion. You guys are all graduated, and let's get the hell out here on this state-of-the-art ship. It's very anime. So that's sure. The XO, and this is the captain. This was also the school president, because hey, it's anime. These characters are all original to this game. They're not from an anime. They were made specifically for this. The Dreisträger was as well, but some other characters like people from Gundam and people from those other things, those will all be licensed characters.
Okay.
So
cool.
He's just saying, hey, we got some supplies, and now that's it. That's the mission. That's all it was. And we got a bunch of money. We got a bunch of points that I can show you later, and we got a piece of equipment there, that SP getter.
Just from that little thing there.
Just from that little thing, because we bought the DLC. So it's just giving us some bonus stuff to begin with. So I can do these. I can do these at any time in any order, and it's perfectly fine. Some of these missions might go away if I don't do them right away. Some of these missions you have to have prerequisites, so I can go back out here. I don't have any prerequisites. Oh, I have some prerequisites for the onboard stuff. So I'll get more talking missions if I ever get what is that, a million CP, and right now I'm at 19% of that. So as I play the game and I collect more CP, I don't know what CP is, credit points or something like that.
Sure.
once I get to 1 million, it'll unlock another onboard mission, and then I can do something there, and it'll give me another bonus.
Got it. So
Yeah.
this is what I remember about, because back in the day, you and we played a version of this game.
We did a quick look a long time ago for your old YouTube channel, and that was for Super Robot Wars T, which was the one that came out before this one.
And I recall just density. Like, that thing was dense.
It is dense. This is denser somehow, because the T, like I said, just kind of that mission structure. You just jump in and you're doing the mission. And this game is not that. I have all these different missions that I can pick. We're going to do this one a new story because it's recommended and because that's the one I've played and I know stuff about. We're just going to jump right in. There's going to be some talking. I'm going to skip through a lot of the talking here because that does take a while. There's also this map area.
Spoilers a thing in this?
Not really. There's some spoilers for the anime themselves.
Okay.
But this game kind of tries to skim a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different anime. And it also combines them in weird ways that aren't spoilery exactly. It's more of just, hey, this is a big crossover game, but we want everything to make sense within a world, so we're going to make up some bullshit reasoning why Gundam characters would see Gridman characters or something like that. Like, oh, you're from this world too? I didn't know that. Which in real life or in the animes themselves, they are not connected to each other whatsoever.
Okay.
So we're going to do this mission here on L5, which is a colony, and we'll see what happens. So there's going to be some talking here. We are actually going to skip through this, which is, there it is. It's left bumper and plus, because we're on a Switch.
So while this is loading up, how's this run on the Switch? I know that this is on PC. I'm being bombarded by ads for it.
Yeah.
How do you feel its performance has been?
These are not intensive games. It is very much kind of an isometric chessboard most of the time, and talking heads like this, it's really not that bad. And then when you get into the battles themselves, it's kind of just like super upgraded Pokemon style battles.
Okay.
Where I do an animation to you, you do an animation to me, but these are like 100 levels higher than what Pokemon can do, and you're going to see some of that when we get into that. But those animations are still 2D. They're not ridiculously intensive, and the Switch can run them just fine.
Cool. Good to know.
So this is a new character we haven't encountered in this game yet. This is the first mission we see him. This is Captain Bright Noah. Of course, famous captain of the White Base. Bobby, I know, like, you're a big White Base fan.
Is that dubstep?
Yep. You know what? You got it. You got it, buddy. That's it. And obviously, you know, this famous ship that he's driving right now, the White Base famously exploded at the end of Mobile Suit Gundam 0079. But this ship, Bobby, can you tell the folks at home what this ship is called that he's on? Yeah,
this is the narrative.
Ooh, man, really, really close. No, the narrative is a Gundam that's about to come out. This is the Rakai Loon, which
the Rakai Loon?
Close enough. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Okay.
So this is the narrative, and it's a Gundam. It's from an anime called
that is
Gundam
a cool
Narrative.
Name for a robot.
Yeah, it's okay. The anime is not that great, but yeah. So there it is, the Rakai Loon.
Finally, some content I can relate to.
Absolutely. We're gonna skip through this as well. It's not a big deal. It's basically just kind of restating some of the story from Gundam Narrative, but also not, because Bright Noah wasn't a part of that. It's kind of throwing a bunch of stuff together. Here's what you need to know. You have your victory conditions. When you have a blue victory condition like that, that means it's the final condition. Like, this is it. That's the condition you need to meet to beat the level. Sometimes there will be multiple conditions, and they won't show up until halfway through a battle where you can see what you actually need to do. But that's just telling you, defeat all the enemies. Most of the missions are kind of like that. You need to rout everybody or defeat a specific unit. You have defeat conditions. I can't let this warship or Jonah's the pilot of the narrative. You can't let either of those guys get down. And then they always give you a little bit of a hint, and it's showing you that when multiple things attack a unit, they get better chances of hitting that unit, and that goes for you as well.
Nice.
So we've got
this is grid based.
It's grid based, and my one big gripe about Super Robot Wars games in general is that all of them are flat as fuck. Look at this. There's nothing here. I mean, there's this big space colony right here, but none of that matters. You just fly right over it. That's just background setting. And for the most part, every level is like this. If you go on to some Earth battles, there might be some water that, if you don't have a unit that flies, they'll have to go through the water, and it can limit their movement a little bit. There's some forests that you might see that you can land on that would slightly boost your evasiveness and your defense. But for the most part, it is just big, flat chessboard. And that's what you're dealing with. And that's the thing I've always disliked about these games. I play other games like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics or lots of turn-based strategy games that do interesting things. Advance Wars, that do interesting things with geography, level geography, where you can move around and get cover and those kinds of things. And that is not the case with this series at all.
Are you able to at least zoom in?
I can. I'm not going to because I like this distance.
Yeah.
And I always find it hard to get back to where the setting I had it if I try. So I'm not going to do that. And then you can also you can also flip the battle around like this. Again, I don't like doing this because I usually get lost. But then you can zoom in and out. I don't do that very often because I just find it disorienting most of the time, and then it's like, how did I like it? I think that was about the size I had it. And if I want to see what these units look like, there's better ways of doing it. I can just look at the stats, and then boom, there's your Rakai Loom. You can see there's a ton of stats here, Bobby.
This is a lot.
So there on the left in green, you see the HP. I've got energy. Energy is what you use. It's like a mana system. It's what you use to use your weapons, or some weapons. Some weapons don't use energy. You can see the move amount. I can move 5 spaces. I've got armor, which can slow down, or which can defend against some incoming attacks. Mobility is your chance to avoid attacks entirely. 75 is not very good, but this is a giant battleship, so it's not very mobile. Sight is my ability to hit enemies, so that's just what my percentage would be when we attack. On the bottom there, that ABCA, that is like this ship was made for certain conditions, so it's A means it's pretty good in the air. Ground is a B, which means this thing isn't very good when it's sitting on the ground, but it's not going to be ever sitting on the ground because it's a spaceship. That's not what it does. This thing's never going in the water, but if it's by some weird coincidence happened to go in the water, all of its stats would go down quite a bit because it's not made for the water.
And you'd have to use an ancient dagger to find out where it landed in the water.
There you go. I see where you're going with that. Then on the right here, you see Bright. Bright is a pilot. Well, he's a captain specifically, but he's a pilot for this purpose. And he's got his own stats. You see CQB, his close quarters battling, his range, his skill, his defense, his evade, and his accuracy. Those stats combine with stats like mobility and sight of the unit itself to see exactly how much percentage to hit, how much damage you'll do, that kind of stuff. Bright also has morale, which can mean different things. Morale can give you a bunch of bonuses the higher it goes. Some attacks can only be used once you have a morale that's high enough, because that might be... Think about it from like a Dragon Ball Z perspective. Like Goku can't just throw the Spirit Bomb on his own. He needs to power up before he can do it. Same kind of thing here. I'm sorry, I used another anime analogy on a guy who doesn't watch anime. Hang on a second.
Wait, what?
I cannot make this one Star Wars for you, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
And then he's got SP, which are I guess special points. I'm not sure what SP stands for exactly, but that are skill points. That's what it is. and there's or spirit points. Jesus Christ, spirits and skills are basically the same thing. Where spirits are things that Bright can do that can change things. Like a spirit is there's a spirit called Bullseye, which means for this attack that Bright does, it's guaranteed to hit 100% of the time. I can use that spirit. It's going to cost me some spirit points, but I can do that if I really need to land that attack. Or there's another one called Flash, which is basically the opposite. I can avoid 100% of the time for this one battle. So if there's an enemy that's really going to crush me, I can use that Flash spirit just to kind of get out of the way for that one time.
Yeah,
and
like a
hopefully I have
quick
enough spirits.
burst and move and shimmy.
Totally. It's very anime. Like, hey, I need to power up for this one thing. Let's tap into this other resource I have to do it. So that's kind of the basic stuff. That's our basic unit info. I can get specifically more into Bright, what he does. He also has skills. Skills are not exactly the same as spirits. You see spirits down there at the bottom right. That's what I use my spirit points on. Skills are just kind of inherent bonuses that Bright has. And
Can you
go in
change
here
these out?
You don't change them out, but you can gain more of them. I can give him more stuff as we go on. So he's got something like Potential 5. The more HP that is lost on the Rakai Loom, the better his accuracy, evasion, critical hit chance, and defense get. So it's harder to kill him, and he gets better the more damage he's taken. He's also got support attacks, which means like in Fire Emblem Awakening, if I attack somebody when I've got an ally right beside me, he can also attack, and he's got level 2, which means he can do it twice per turn. So that's an extra bonus. I want to try to be around the Rakai Loom when I attack, because he might also get an attack of opportunity to put a little bit more damage on it. And then his Spirit Excel, I can move 3 more tiles for that specific turn. The Rakai Loom can usually move 5, so I can move 8 for that turn. And you'll get more stuff as we go. I don't have any power parts on him, but if I put a power part, which is basically just kind of like an equipment, so in RPGs you'd put on a helmet or a pendant or something like that, that's basically those kind of slots. I've got 2 slots on the Rakai Loom right now, which means I could put 2 different power parts. Power parts are things like a booster, which lets you move 1 extra movement at any time.
Okay. Are these consumables?
They're not consumables, no. That you keep them for the whole time.
Okay.
And then if he had any active abilities on him, those would show up here. Because the units also kind of have skills on them. So there might be a unit like a mobile suit or a mech unit that has a beam coating. It was built to reflect beams. So it might have an active ability here that means if it ever gets hit with a beam weapon, the damage is negative 10% because it's specially made to go against beams. Or if it has a barrier or a shield, those would go up in there as well.
Okay.
And this is kind of what we're seeing before. That's all the stuff here. One thing I didn't mention, do you see on the left there it says size 2L under my HP and energy?
I do.
Okay, so 2L is the size of this unit because it's a warship, it's a big battleship, it's the biggest thing in the game. It is a 2L, which means that it inherently has some better, or when a smaller unit tries to attack this thing, it gets hindrances to its stats, to its ability to do damage, because think about it, if a fly comes at you and tries to hit you, it's a fly. Like, as strong as it is, it's still just a fly, and I'm a person, I'm a giant person, so it can only do so much damage to me. That's kind of what's going on here. There are ways to mitigate that. There are skills called ignore size, and it can allow your smaller units to do damage that is just as strong no matter who it attacks, because in the way the game is built, you can do that.
Doesn't matter if you're big or small, you're gonna get fucking laid out.
There you go. And then the Rakai Loom itself has attacks. So these are the 4 different kinds of attacks it can do. It's got these machine guns, it's got a missile launcher, it's got a mega particle cannon, and then it also has what's called a map attack here. And map attacks are different than regular attacks because they can hit multiple tiles at the same time. We might see some of that as we play, but that's something I can show you as we get into it. These different attacks have different bonuses. You see, if I use these anti-air machine guns, it's showing you the property. So this is where you'd see if it was like a beam weapon. You can see these are beam weapons. They've got that little yellow symbol under property. That means they're beam weapons. So if there was something that had that beam coating, I'd know maybe I don't want to use this attack because it's going to get a -10 modifier to it when I attack with it. It has a base attack power. You can see there, this Mega Particle Cannon is a 4400. It shows the basic range of this attack. So I can attack anything from 2 to 6. It is 6. No, it's 8. 2 to 8 tiles away. It gets a +10 accuracy when I use this move versus something like this that has a +25. So if I really need to hit something, maybe I want to use this anti-air machine gun instead of the big, strong Mega Particle Cannon. And it also has a crit chance, the chance that it has to do a critical hit and do a bunch more damage. Ammo shows how many times I can use this attack within this same mission. Ammo is different than energy. You see energy there on the full right. So I had 220 energy in the Rakai Loom. These attacks cost energy, and they'll take it out of that. But guns or attacks that have ammo, which are usually guns or missiles, those don't require energy to use at all. So I could be completely out of energy, and I can still use these two attacks if I needed to.
This is super intense.
It is. There's still stuff we haven't touched. You see on the bottom right, there's a special effect for this anti-air machine gun that is accuracy down. So if I shoot somebody with this gun, their accuracy goes down for a turn. This Mega Particle Cannon volley has ignore size. We just talked about what size meant. So this attack inherently has ignore size, so it doesn't matter how big or small you are. This attack is always going to do the same amount of damage. It's a lot. Even these attacks, you see their adaptivity in the bottom middle. These attacks have different abilities of working or have different bonuses or setbacks depending on where you use them. So if I tried to use a beam weapon in the water, it doesn't work very well. But if I use a missile, it works a little bit better. It's a lot of shit. And that's one unit.
Let me ask a couple questions.
Yes.
All right. Knowing that, how long did it take you to get comfortable with the system?
I'm still not comfortable with the system, Bobby.
And then
I've played multiples of these games, and I'm still not completely comfortable because there is so much happening.
Okay. What percentage? Like, are we looking at like an 80-20 split of time spent doing what we just did versus time in combat? Like, what does that really look like?
I think once you understand how these things work, I could have already been halfway through the level at this point. But it's really just trying to tell you all this stuff, which is why it's taking a lot longer. I'm telling the viewers at home as well. But once you start to get an idea of, okay, I know what attacks I can use. Some attacks I can use after I move, some I can't.
Right.
The warship, most of its stuff, once I move, it can't attack at all. You can see I move, and it can only go to standby. I can't do anything else at this point. But with something like the Gundam, I can move the Gundam up here and get it real close, and I can use an attack, and it can show you, okay, the only thing I can use is the Vulcan cannon, because it can move after you shoot. Everything else is either out of range or I don't have the required morale. You see that in the bottom left. I need to have 120 morale, and I only have 100 to use this move, so I need to wait until morale gets built up. And morale gets built up by attacking things or being attacked or taking down units. There's lots of ways to build morale.
Okay.
It's an incredibly complex game. There's a lot of stuff going on. We only covered some of those things. There's also this different resource called Extra Orders. Basically, you kind of power up as you take down enemies. You can gain EXC points, X counts, I just call them, and you can spend that X count to get these bonuses for a turn. So I can Well, this one's a little weird because extra order is something that only warships can do. But here I can go to X actions for a regular unit, and it can get a boost dash. So I can gain 2 move out of here, or I can do an attack that ignores barriers and other defenses of the enemies, or I can do an attack that doesn't require energy or ammo, and I can just make sure that I always get that attack off, or I can make sure that it's a critical hit, or probably the best one, if you've played Fire Emblem Awakening and know about a move called Gale Force, a skill called Gale Force. When you take down an enemy, you get another turn. Every unit has that ability. They just need to be able to pay for it, which means you have to take down some enemies before you have the required consumable stuff. And these consumable X counts only count for the mission that you're on. You don't get to carry those over from mission to mission. So if I kill 3 enemies, I got an X count of, well, I guess in this one it's 4. If I kill 4 enemies, I have an X count of 4. I can spend those 4 on this multi-action, and then my next attack with this, if I take down an enemy, I get an extra turn with this character.
Okay.
It's just so dense.
Yeah, man.
And I'm not going to go through all the stuff like I did with Bright, but just... You have a bunch of units on the field. The narrative Gundam has completely different stats and works very differently. This Apex you see in the bottom left, it doesn't even work on air, ground, or water at all. I can only use this unit in space. There's going to be a way that I can use this unit in a different way outside of space, but I can only use it in this configuration in space. But it's very good in space. And it's got its own mess of stuff. Jonah has his own skills and his own spirits and a bunch of different attacks that have different properties. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff.
I don't even know how to chew this elephant up.
It can be tough. I totally understand, and this is why this game is so overwhelming. One of the things they added for this game, if you see on the top left, it has you can see the strength. It's got like a little meter there. You can see that red bar is way bigger than the blue bar. That is just counting up all the HP and attack power, I think, of these enemies versus the attack power of my 2 units right now. So it looks like they've got quite a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, you're pretty outnumbered here.
But if I use strategy, maybe we can take them down. Okay, Bobby, let's play this game.
Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Oh,
so
we haven't been
guys. No, we haven't even really started, have we? So I'll back up a little bit because I know I can still hit him from 4 spaces away, and you can now see all the enemies' stats there. We get into this. And this is showing you how all the stats go. So I've got a 92% chance to hit. I've got a 7% chance for this attack to be a crit.
This makes sense. This screen makes sense to me.
Yep. This is like if you were playing a Fire Emblem game.
Yep.
This is the kind of screen you would see. I have a 92% chance to hit. They have a 30% chance to hit. That all makes sense.
Yeah.
And then it has kind of shorthand on all the different little things that you're seeing here. It's a mess. It's a lot of stuff. But let's just jump in, start the battle, and now we can see the cool stuff, which is he's going to say a little spiel here. Narrative Gundam, our secret ace to capture the Phoenix. You don't have to worry about the Phoenix right now. And now we get into the coolest part about Super Robot Wars. The reason I like this game. Look at how cool these fucking animations are.
That's a pretty cool animation there, Chase.
He's zooming. He's shooting his Vulcan cannon there. We did a little bit of damage to this Gyaradoga, and now he gets his chance. I think he's going to use a beam weapon. Yep.
So if opportunity would arise, okay?
Yeah.
And we kind of get into a flow, and we're doing some back and forth here of you just shooting shit once we understand the mechanics. Mm-hmm. I know you talk about this a lot on our show, but like I would love for you maybe just to give like a quick pitch on like why you enjoy these games, what you do, and like what's made you want to do this series.
Sure. Well, if you really want that, then you should go check out that deep dive that I did for our Casual Hour podcast, because there's a specific point where I say why I like these games and what I think they do really well. So that's a good spot there. Okay, we've used both of our units. There's nothing more we can do on our turn. We've got to let all these guys attack now. So we will end turn and let them go. This game also added an auto mode, so I could just put things on auto and let the computer play it out. I don't really trust the computer, but that's a thing you could do. Maybe something you can do at the beginning of matches where you might just have to move a ton of units forward, or maybe at the end of matches where you're just completely outclassing the enemy and you know that you can finish them off. Okay, so the enemy is attacking me now. He's got a 30% chance to hit. I have 100%. I have some options here, though. I could change. I could say I want to counter. I want to do my attack. I could defend instead, which means I'm not going to give an attack back, but I'll take less damage because I'm using my armor and my defense to lower his attack. Or I could try evading, which cuts his chance to hit even lower. So it cut his 30 to a 15. So I could do any of that stuff. I'm going to counter, though. And when I counter, I can actually counter with different attacks if I want to. This one's the strongest, so I am going to go with the missile pod. And it is a different kind of attack, so we'll get to watch that cool animation as well.
Here we go. So are
same old beam rifle.
Is the Xeon soldier, is that just like fodder? Like they're not, that's why there's so many of them and you have this big giant mech?
Right. There will be some named enemies. There is a named enemy on this map. We'll take a look at them here in a second. But yeah, we're just dealing with some fodder stuff.
Are you a fan of this mech that we're looking at here?
I think the mech's okay. Narrative is a movie, and I think the movie kind of is lame. So it's not my favorite, but it's fine. You're going to see some other very cool units here in a bit.
Okay.
So we can go up here to this enemy, and this is a named enemy. This is, what's her name? Michelle? Alec? No. Yeah, Alec Hugo. That's her name. So you see, she's got her own skills and spirits and different things that she can do. She's in this Kira Zulu, and she's got her own kinds of attacks. She's hanging out in the back of the map right now. We don't have to worry too much about her. We will bring up our big ship again. One of the other things you can do, I did take a little bit of damage, as you can see. Sure. I can move my unit into the ship and just board the ship and replenish some of my health and energy each turn. So I have ways of regaining health. There are other units that are able to repair other units. So I don't have one of those with me at the moment, but if I did, I could bring one of those guys up to this narrative Gundam and heal it and then attack again.
Wow.
So I think for this, we're just going to attack again. We're going to attack with this missile pod. And we did over half damage the last time we attacked this thing, so I think we'll be fine. As long as we hit, it is an 82% chance, so I could miss, but we're going to try it out. You don't have to watch these animations. The animations, I think, are the coolest thing, but once you've seen them, they don't change all that much. So you can speed through them. It changes the UI a little bit as you speed through. I didn't quite take it out. It's got a little bit of life left. Hopefully he doesn't mess me up too bad.
He's got, what, just one single attack on you compared to your arsenal?
I think these things have 2 attacks each. 2 different kinds of attacks. Yeah, they've got a machine gun and they've got a sword axe attack. But nobody's close enough to do the sword axe on me quite yet. So, we'll see. We got a lot of enemies here. A lot of things I need to hopefully dodge. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this is victorious here.
Okay, he's going to use his sword axe attack. He's got a 42% chance to hit. That's not great. So here's something I'm going to do, Bobby. I'm going to use one of these spirits. I'm going to use what's called Focus, which gives me plus 30 accuracy and plus 30% evasion. So when I do this, see, I was at 93 and he's at 42. When I use
not anymore.
When I use Focus, I'm at 100 and he's at 12.
Suck it.
Seems a lot better. And Focus works not just for one battle, but it works for one whole turn. So everybody who attacks me is going to have a negative 30% chance to hit me, and I have a plus 30% chance to hit them. Kind of my ace in the hole here.
Yeah, it seems to be.
So I'm going to speed through this one as well. Oh well, he's using a different attack, so we'll let him do it. And he missed. Suck on that.
Yeah, he knows better.
And you can also just button through these. I'm just going to skip this one because we've seen that attack before, and we'll go back and see how everybody's doing later.
Sure. Are these enemies from the same anime as your character?
Very good question, Bobby. Kinda.
Okay.
These are all Gundam characters and units. They aren't necessarily from the same anime, though.
Okay.
Gyaradogas have been in a number of different Gundam anime. The narrative is only from Narrative Gundam. The Rakai Loom technically is around when narrative is happening, but I don't believe that warship is actually in narrative.
Got it.
Yeah, there's some crossover. One of the things that Super Robot Wars T added that I really liked that this game is also using, you see how it's pulsing and saying shoot down on my 100% there? That is something that previous games didn't do, where you'd have to do the numbers, crunch the math in your head, hope that, or like get a sense, like, I think this is probably enough damage to defeat this enemy. In this game, it goes, this is enough damage to defeat that enemy. You're fine using this attack. And that really helps, because if this attack wasn't strong enough, I might go back and counter with a different attack that might do more damage, but I might also waste more ammo or more energy that I didn't have to. So it's a nice little touch that this game in Super Robot Wars T added that just is a slightly better quality of life thing. So we'll jump in here and we'll skip through that, and that'll be fine. We kill the unit. Great. So when we kill a unit, we get experience points. We also get PP, pilot points. That's new for this one, this game, and we'll show off pilot points later. You get credits for everything you kill. Credits can be used to upgrade a bunch of stuff. Again, we'll show those later. The experience matters because our level just went up. Experience goes to the pilot, and you see our X count went to 2. There's different ways to get extra X count, bonus X count, when you defeat different enemies. So we skipped right over 1 and got to 2, so we're well on our way to getting some of those cool things like that multiple attack thing. So now that we leveled up, we see all of our stats go up, and sometimes we might get another skill, like where all those question marks are, or more spirits, and then you see that thing that says score right under the character's face.
Yeah.
That is the number of enemies I've defeated. Some pilots, like Jonah, come in with an amount of score pre-done. Like you just get that to begin with. So he already had 2, and now that I took down this one enemy, he's now got 3. And there's an idea called acing a pilot, or having ace pilots, that when you get to a certain amount of score, they are veteran enough units, they've taken down enough enemies that they get ace status, which gives them some bonuses. And then there's another status that's great ace status if you get even more kills. And that gives them even extra bonuses, which reflects the amount of enemies they killed and their veteran status at that point. In previous games, I think it was 50. In this game, I believe it's 60. You need to get to 60 kills before somebody is an ace. And then I think grade A status is 80, where it used to be 70. Anyway, moving on. Continuing on here. 6% chance, not a problem. We're going to attack with this beam rifle, but I think what might help here to speed some stuff up, we're actually going to turn the animation off. So we're not going to have to watch that animation. We'll get a different kind of animation here, where you can just see it a little bit more plainly, a little bit faster. I did damage, he missed. So that's a way of speeding these games up. I don't like doing that because the whole point of this game, to me, is seeing the big, awesome particle attacks. I'm actually going to turn it back on for this one because we haven't seen this large beam saber attack.
Okay.
And I think it looks pretty fucking cool. So we'll jump back in. We've seen his attacks, though, so I'm going to speed through this. We don't need to see him. Probably miss. Yeah, no big deal. And now it's our turn.
Get him.
Giant lasers. Like, these were cannons, but we just turned them into big swords.
Yeah. Nice.
Slice them open. No big deal. Okay. That should be all of their attacks. And they're letting us go again. So let's We don't have the morale, unfortunately, to use our Mega Particle map cannon yet. We need 110. We're at 101, so we'll see about that. Let's just do a regular attack now. Let's attack this far one. That's not great. 60% isn't amazing. We can get to 66% here. That's also fine, but not the best. We could use this attack instead, which has better accuracy, so it's at 81%. Maybe we do that, and we'll take his accuracy down a little bit when we do it. Usually when it's somebody's first attack for a map, they have a little something they're going to say. So Bright wants to just say a little bit here.
Bright is just making us feel real cozy.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting all kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah. We actually did pretty good damage. We took out more than half. He'll hit us, but his attack is going to be pretty weak. Yeah, not too much. And now, why don't we bring our narrative over here and finish this guy off? And we did it. And we leveled up again, and now we're at X count 4. So now we are able to use that bonus turn thing when we need to. We'll probably wait until next turn to do that. Got some extra stats there for leveling up. We're doing okay. We're still horribly outnumbered, but we have taken out a couple of their guys. I guess I'll keep animations on for this one. We haven't seen the Mega Particle Cannon yet, so that'll be cool. It'll probably miss. It is 60%. It's not great. We'll see.
Take this, he says. The trash talking in this game, Chase, is...
oh, yeah. Everybody's got to talk. It wouldn't be anime if you didn't. Got him. There you go.
These guys seem a little bit more stiff than what I would expect for fodder. Like...
What do you mean? Just like not enough animations out of them?
No. I guess stiff is maybe stout is the better use of language there. Like,
like they're a little beefier than you thought they'd be. I find that to be the case in this game. I feel like the enemies are just a little stronger, or not necessarily stronger, but just a little tankier than they've been in previous Super Robot Wars games. That's gonna change real quick as I level up, as I get new units, as I get power parts on these things, and can really customize them the way that I want. Then we're gonna start doing a lot more. Also, we only have 2 characters on our side right now, and that's usually we get something like 15, and it's gonna change things quite a bit once we get on a little bit more even footing. So. We got to a point of this where there's going to be a little bit more story happening. So they kind of take you out and say, hey, let's listen to these people talk. So this is Alec just telling us stuff that's kind of happening in Gundam narrative. Hey, this isn't going great. Bright's like, yeah, we're probably okay. You know why we're okay? Because we got a new ship. Here's we're bringing the Dreistrager. That's the ship we've been playing with this whole time. You haven't seen it yet, but in the game at this point, we've actually had this is everybody that we got. So we're gonna bring in all these people, Uso, and Marbit, and Junko, and Koni, Asagi, Kei, Tamaki, Saruga, Izuru, and Minami is my character. I made this one up. You get a choice between a guy and a girl. I ended up going with the girl. You get to name them. I named them after my Animal Crossing island.
Okay.
And they found this machine called the Huck Beam 30, and this unit is also an original unit for this game. It's got a very Gundam look to it. We'll take a look at it when we come out here. But we'll just sortie with all these guys. And now, hey, look, we got a ton more units on our team. So the odds have been evened up here.
Okay.
Dry Cruise.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Dry Cruise is the name of our unit. I had a chance to change this, but this is the default one the game gives you, so I just stuck with it. And at the end of this mission, spoiler alert here, we're gonna recruit Bright and the Narrative Gundam to be on our squad.
Nice.
Okay, we're gonna skip through this story. We don't have to worry too much about. There's a lot of story in these games. There's a ton of writing. It's frankly too much often, but that is kind of the fun part about these games, that you get to see how they smash things together. I'm gonna move the narrative into the Rakai Loom just to heal it up a little bit, as I've now got this other unit of guys here that are going to stop them, and we'll bring out the Narrative Gundam later. So this is the new unit for this game, the Huckbean 30. It's got a cool look to it. I think it's pretty neat. It's got some decent attacks.
Nice.
And then these guys are from Victory Gundam. Uso Ewan is the main character of that show. Victory Gundam, I think, is a great show. I'm really excited to see what they do with Victory Gundam in this game. Victory Gundam has been in these games before, but not in one that I've played, not in one that's been in English before. So that's going to be cool for me. And there are some other Gundam Victory characters. And then I don't know this anime. I've never seen this anime that these characters are from. What I can do, I think, maybe I have to wait until somebody talks to be able to look at it, but there's a way that I can go in and see what anime they're from. I have not watched that anime though, so these 5 guys are all from that, and they're all in that show. They're all some kind of unit together, and they got these new prototype units that they're still kind of trying to figure out what they do and how they work.
Okay.
So we'll start moving these guys around. Hopefully, be a little bit faster than we were before. Start the. That's not a great percentage. Maybe we'll hang on to you. This unit we've built up to be very fast. It can go more spaces than most of them can. It also has more mobility, which means it's just harder to hit. So yeah, 6%'s way better than the 42% it was going to do to Coney. So we'll let her attack here. This attack, I think, is the worst in the game so far. In terms
this
of
one?
Yeah, not. Like, hey, look, it's her butt. And then,
Okay.
Nope, it gets worse. It gets worse.
What? What?
Yep, just charging in, doing some attacks here.
Whoop.
Oh, wait, hang on. Hey, here are my boobs.
What?
I don't know. It makes me not want to watch this anime.
Why? This is so weird.
I don't know. She's the only girl in the squad. Or actually, I don't think that's true. I think Kay's also a woman, but she's. I don't know. This seems like an extremely anime show in that we have to do a bunch of bullshit fan service with the girls, and the guys are the ones that can be the heroes. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I like her unit a lot.
In the midst of a robot.
Yeah, like her unit's cool. It's big. It's pinky purple. It's super fast. But yeah, they did this girl dirty.
I'd say so.
Okay, we'll move our Gundam up. We'll get to see Uso do some cool shit. Nice big beam cannons there.
Yeah, those look really good.
And that's what this game is. It's look at how cool we make the attacks. Like you can definitely start to understand how they make it work. There are the enemy units have specific animations they use when they're getting hit, and then these attack animations don't change when you do them. But there is just something about how they're able to combine them in ways that look extremely good, especially compared to something like Pokemon, where you do Fire Blast and it's just the the fire kanji that spits out of Charizard's mouth and hits the enemy in the same way. They just look like trash compared to this. Like, even the weakest attack, like this, the Vulcan cannons, it's going to be very basic.
Yeah.
Pretty darn basic. It still looks way better than anything Pokemon does. The way it just has it bounce off the enemy like that. All of that's just canned animation. It just looks way better. They put way more effort into it. Ooh, she took some, that's a lot of damage. That's not great. Okay, this guy doesn't repair, but he's got a special move. Where would you see it on here? There it is. So if I go to details, there. This yellow icon, that means it has a resupply device, which means if I'm next to one of my allies, I can't move and then use this. I have to use this before I move. But I can resupply. I can give them. I can top up their energy and their ammo. So even if I've depleted all the energy by using big mega particle cannons out of the Rakai Loom, if it's right next to this guy, he can just bring them right back up to the top. And these guys are invaluable. There are other units that can repair. There are other ways. There are power parts that let you resupply or repair with whatever unit, and those things are great. I love those units. This guy also just has a barrier on him at all times, so he can reduce some of the attacks that come at him. And then he also has a jamming device, which which automatically affects the accuracy and evasion of enemies. Or no, it's allied units. Oh, that's what it is. That's cool. And then he's got a bunch of different other stuff here. It's all these units are so different and customizable sometimes that you can do some really cool stuff with them to make them exactly the way you want them to play. Totally. And you get so many units. You can only usually bring out about 15 per battle, but you get so many units that you just get the options to kind of play them however you want. Okay, before, when we tried to attack with her, she had a 60-something% chance to hit. Now she's got 72 because we've already attacked this guy with a unit.
Got it.
And every turn, that's what they were telling us at the beginning of this mission. And it was a long time ago, so you might have forgotten. But now that we've attacked him once, it's easier to attack him again. So we could do that. Let's do that. It's probably not going to do enough damage, but it is going to take him down a little bit extra. She's in the same machine that Junko is. These two are from Victory Gundam. They're part of what's called the Shrike team. A Shrike is a type of bird, fast bird that is really aggressive. So that's what their team is named after. She got tagged too. That kind of sucks. There are more members of the Shrike team, but they're in this game, but they're not playable units. At least not that I've seen so far. And you haven't watched Victory Gundam, and spoiler alert for the people who haven't either, but the Shrike team, all of them get murdered in really rough ways.
Oh boy.
Murder's maybe the wrong thing. They get killed in battle, they get shot down. But they all get shot down in some pretty rough ways. Like, it's a team of these badass women, and because the maker of Gundam, God bless him, is not the best at writing female characters. So what do you do when you can't write a female character?
Kill them.
Kill them off, yeah. What if we kill them off and then the main character can feel bad about it and power up because he's the anime protagonist? Yeah, it's not the best.
It doesn't sound like it.
But Victory Gundam, still quite good. Alright. So now I'm gonna start speeding through things here because we've basically seen what we've needed to see out of this. Like, we know you're only going to see different kinds of attacks here at this point. So I'm gonna speed through it so we can get back to the main mission stuff, and I can show you a little bit more there. We're gonna use this trust skill that we just learned to get her back up health-wise because she's in some pretty bad danger here. She was potentially going to get shot down. So we'll go with that. Still not looking great for her.
Not good, you say.
No. Marbit's doing a little bit better. She's got a chance to take this guy down. And she did. Good for Marbit. She rolled up. And that's not what we wanted. That other guy missed, though. That's good. So she can at least take one attack. He's also going after Marbit. That's fine. Let's go with that. And I'm going to turn off animations again so we can at least see what's going on without skipping through stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's do that. And she's got Flash. Remember what I said about Flash? It lets us evade all attacks for this next round.
Yes.
So now his, what was it, like 54% or something, is now 0. No big deal. Totally fine.
Not a problem at all for us.
But she can only do that so many times because that costs spirit points, and we don't have an unlimited amount of those. You do gain some spirit points back every turn, but it's not enough to just spam that attack all the time. Okay,
Got it.
We can now launch our narrative Gundam, which has gotten its full HP back and its full energy back, so it can go back out onto the field, do some cool stuff. Why don't we get him here? We'll have him use his big beam saber, and he should be able to take out this guy. Oh, he can take out this guy. Okay, let's let him take out that guy. Guy's got more health anyway. Got him.
Got him.
It does have enough morale now to use our map attack. We're just not in range to use it. So we'll put him. Let's put him here, and then maybe next turn we can use our map attack on something, and I can show you how that works.
That'd be cool.
We can use this ship's big attack. Do some cool stuff here. And this attack's from so far away, the enemy can't even counterattack us.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Love those kinds of attacks. And
critical, baby.
And we murdered. It just that was absolute destruction right there. I also put an ability onto this captain, a skill called Hit and Run, and Hit and Run is awesome. When you attack if you attack before you move, you then get to move afterward. And one of the bad things about these warships is they can't move after, or they can't attack after they move. So with this, I can at least, and usually an attack ends your turn for that unit. Mm-hmm. So with this, at least I can get an attack in and then move it. Because more often than not, these units just end up way in the back of the map. Because they just can't, if I do want them to attack something, they have to sacrifice their move for that turn, which means they don't get to move further up and get more into the fray. And that really sucks. But
sure.
With this, you kind of get the best of both worlds. It's not quite as good as, say moving this character up and then being able to attack with it on the same turn. But it is something like, hey, look, our Dreistrigger is now in the middle of the battle, so next turn I can maybe attack these two guys. Whereas before it was way back here, maybe it wouldn't have gotten that chance. So that's kind of a nice thing. I can also... so some units have other things here, so I can use the resupply that we talked about and resupply this unit to the right next to us. He's still at full though, so that's not going to do anything. This unit also has this specific skill called this Wide Range Strategic Recon, which activates the Analyze Spirit. The Analyze Spirit, I think, does 10% more damage for a single turn. I think that's what that does. So this is kind of cool. It just uses Analyze on everybody. So I would do 10% extra damage to them that turn. And
cool.
I can use that whenever, but I think I can only use that once per map.
Got it.
So something to worry about with that. And then one other thing I haven't shown off yet, in this game there are what are called supporters, which are just some basic characters that are in the back. These aren't units. These are just some characters that are on the Dreistrigger. This is our ship's mechanic, and this is our science researcher, and they have their own spirit point pool. The top right there, you see SSP supporter spirit points, and they can use they have their own kind of spirit. So this guy can restore 3,000 HP to any single unit, and she can activate Bullseye for any unit for a turn. So that's kind of useful, where I can, maybe I really need to hit something with Coney, but Coney doesn't have the ability to, or like her percentage. Like, see if I use her attack right now on, let's say, that guy. It's 91%. Maybe I want to really guarantee I hit this, so I could go back and I could turn on that supporter, and I could get her Bullseye for this turn, so she hits with 100% accuracy. Also, these guys have passive bonuses you see there at the bottom. So this guy, he'll restore 500 HP to the Dryce Trigger at the start of our turn. So if we do take a little bit of damage with the Dryce Trigger, it's not a big deal, because he'll just repair it as we go. And she gets us some bonus currency at the end of maps that we can then use to spend on some stuff, which we'll show here in a bit. This character is a sniper unit. He needs some morale before he can start using his sniper stuff yet. So we'll just use this attack, which isn't as strong, but it's strong enough for this. You also see there in the bottom right, you see my unit there, my Minami unit. That's because she's sitting right next to him, and she's got a support attack. So because I'm attacking with him, and she's also able to attack that unit, she's in range to do something to him, she can get an attack as well. She's not going to need it, because he's going to kill this guy before she gets a chance to attack. But if I attack something else, if I attack this unit instead that he can't kill in one hit, then you see now she has the shoot down thing on hers, because her attack is going to be the one that actually takes it down.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, like lots of little bonuses there. There's also support defends, so if an enemy was attacking me, I can have, and I'm standing next to somebody who's got a support defend, they can come in and take the shot for me, and it'll do reduced damage because they're automatically defending. So let's have him take out this unit, because I kind of want that unit gone. I want him to be the one to get to kill, because then he'll get the score, he'll get more experience that way. I want my sniper unit to do that. He also has hit and run, which is going to be really good on a sniper unit, because similar to the Dryce Trigger, he can't use his big snipe attack after he moves. So that's a way to get him in position where he can use the big snipe attack and then move.
Okay.
This guy doesn't have a ton of health. Let's see what we can do. I think I actually want to bring her up, because she's so... it's so hard to hit her. Her mobility is so high. So I'm going to let her kind of dodge tank, is what they would call it in strategy games, where she's not going to be taking attacks, but she's just dodging, and she's wasting attacks for the other team. And let's bring you up and use our beam sword and just... that's not great, but it'll do. Bring it down a little bit more. And he missed, that's good. So now, maybe Coney can take out this guy. 94%, good enough for me. And got the crit, good for her.
So they're starting to disappear, it looks like.
Yep, yeah, look at the top left. Our blue bar has gotten quite big at this point, certainly compared to what they have. Let's bring up this guy. It's not quite going to kill, but it's going to get real close. Oh, real close. That's fine. And then we're going to get this guy, we're going to move him up here. And so even though he can't attack, he's the one who's able to resupply. So next turn, before anybody else moves, I'm going to have him resupply probably Uso. So I've got him right next to Uso, so that he can do that next turn. So that guy's about dead. I've still got 2 units that can move here. I'm going to attack with Junko. Have to just do... the Vulcan's enough. No need to do anything crazy. Didn't do much damage, but he only had 88 HP left, so I knew that was fine. And then we'll bring this guy up and have him attack. This is the boss, though. The bosses usually have much better stats, as you can imagine. It's not that much different. That's not too bad at all. We'll use focus on him, just make it a little bit better. and we'll start to cut her down to size a little bit. I'll turn animations on for this one because I think she's got a cool beam Naginata attack, and I think that'll be cool to see. We also have a pretty cool full arm thing.
Take that. We're cool too.
Got a sword and pole arm.
God, it's ripping them apart.
Slice and dice, you know.
As robots in space often do.
Look at that. That's way better than any fire blast I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's over.
Not really. Didn't even do half, but
according to the talking head there.
Well, he's an idiot. She's gonna bring out her basically double-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah, it looks like you're gonna have some fun with that.
Okay. Oh yeah. Wait, Uso. Oh, that was Marbit. And Marbit hasn't gone either. Okay, I actually have other units I can use here. We'll bring her up. She's pretty hurt, but I think she's good enough to take out this guy. Yeah, 81%. We'll trust her. Oh, I'm supposed to turn this back off. She's got a unit that's very similar to Uso's, so a lot of her attacks look like Uso's. That's going to change over the course of the game, and when some characters will get new attacks as they go on, or new skills, or even new units. The V-Gundam, which is this, this is not going to be the only unit that Uso uses. He's going to get an upgraded unit that you would know about if you watched Victory Gundam.
Well, I got some homework, it sounds like.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you should watch a lot of other things before you watch Victory Gundam, but Victory Gundam is also a pretty good anime. I'm not too worried about this. We'll probably put a focus on anyway, just to guarantee it. And animation's off. This will get her down pretty close. Not quite there, but it should get her next turn. And then there's still that one enemy over here, and I'm not too worried about him either. So we're in the phase. He's attacking Marbit. It's gonna get dicey if he hits, but he didn't. Sort of. Okay. And I'd rather you not go after Junko. So we can use Flash. We can use Flash, but we can't use Bullseye. She only has 18 spirit points left. That's not great. So let's use Flash, make sure that she doesn't get hit. She still has a 73% chance to hit, so she might be okay. I could use that supporter. In fact, actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's, oh, actually, is there a way to do that? Maybe there's not a way to do that. Maybe I need to use that before. I guess not. Okay, that's fine. I think we'll still shoot her down. 73 is a decent enough percent. Got her.
Ooh.
So that was a boss, so she gets a lot more, she has a lot more experience, a lot more credits out of her. She also had a skill. She's got Evade Up, which we can throw onto any one of our pilots and get their Evade Up. We've only got one guy left. She's got to talk, though, because she's a named unit and she wants to say her piece before she leaves. Okay. And one guy left. I'm going to turn animations back on because I think this animation is just really cool for this leap slasher. Should be enough to kill. Let's do it.
Let's see.
It's just like a Tron light disc, you know?
Yeah.
And we rip it. So there we go. That is this mission.
Done. Toast.
Alright, we're going to skip through the dialogue. Don't have to worry about that. We're basically just telling Bright, hey, you should join our team. And he goes, yeah, okay, sure. And we'll bring the narrative gun.
Welcome aboard, Bright.
Yep. So, We also got some new supporters that we can use for next. You see, we got our ace. Marbot took down the most characters in that.
Did they get a bonus for that?
They don't. I think that's just saying, "Hey, good job to this guy."
Oh, okay.
But we did get some money. We got some PP and MXP. I'm going to show you those real quick, and then we can get out of here. I know I've taken up a lot of your time. But there's something like this game is dense, and I think to make it a little bit more friendly, you just got to know about some of these things.
Sure.
Okay, very quickly here, we can upgrade different things. First, let's upgrade the AOS system. The Dreisträger has all these different systems on board. Got the bridge, the hangar, engine room, that kind of stuff. I've been going into the lab. This is something that's relatively new for this game. There's been other kinds of things like this in Super Robot Wars games before, but these are just kind of global bonuses that we can get by spending stuff into this ship. We haven't quite seen it like this before, though. I've been going into this AOS research one because it gives you more of the points that lets you spend them in this menu. So you can... Doing this one makes the most sense to me. You're going to be able to build out everything faster. So now I get 100 extra points of this after every battle. And also, you get the extra levels by going to this one as well. So before this level 7 was locked, but now that I've done this one, it unlocks level 7 for all of these different things. And all these things have different things here. So you see pilots gain plus 30 experience from combat. That's going to be a big deal once I'm able to unlock that, because now my units are going to be able to level up way faster.
Nice.
But I want to get this one maxed out before I do anything else, and I'm well on my way. And I've only done a few maps with that. So that's upgrading the big ship. I can also upgrade units themselves, so I could upgrade something like, let's do the V-Gundam Hexa here. This is just the base form of the unit. You see I've got, 239,000 credits. I'm going to spend some of these credits. I'm going to up the stats of this unit, all these stats by half. And when you do that, this is called customizing a unit. And when I've customized a unit by 50% like this, you get a customized bonus. So now she gets plus 300 attack power to that one move, that overhang cannon. And she also gets plus 15 mobility, so she's a little harder to hit. If you then, it's going to cost you a lot more. We're not going to be able to do this. But if I was able to get her up to 10 and everything, customize her by 100%, she'd get another bonus. And then this game, unlike other games in this series, also it looks like has a way to get somebody to 150%, and then I guess they'd probably get another bonus after that. But I'm guessing that's locked behind one of those ship upgrades that I haven't done yet.
Got it.
So you can do that for units. So these are just the units, the different mobile suits. I can also upgrade pilots. You saw we got an evade up skill program at the end of that match. So I can go in here and you can see that you now have some of these programs. So I can use this evade up, and I can bring her evasion up by +5, so it goes from 97 to 102, and I just spent it on her there. Those are the ones that I already owned. I can also buy any of these. They cost pilot points, and I have 2,700 pilot points, so I can, they cost a little bit more. Like this hit and run costs 300, but you saw what I did with hit and run before. I can just buy a hit and run, and now I can put hit and run on her as one of her skills. So now Marbot has the ability to attack and then move after she's done attacking, which is not something she could do before. So you just upgrade your pilots. Maybe you have favorites and are able to make them even beefier. Maybe you're able to patch up some of the weaknesses of some units by giving them some different skills. So you can upgrade units, you can upgrade pilots, you can upgrade this giant ship to do different things. I can also go in here and I can assign, maybe I want Junko to pilot this unit instead of Uso. Maybe she's got better stats for it. Maybe I just don't like the unit that she's in and I'd rather be in this one instead. You can do that. So now Junko's in the V-Gundam and Uso's in the Gun Blaster. That doesn't make any sense from a anime standard, because Uso's the special boy who needs to be in the Gundam because he's the one who can do the special boy things. So I'm gonna swap that back.
Fair.
But you could do that if you wanted to. Some units have option parts, so we saw that the Narrative Gundam had this A packs that only lets it go in space. It also has the B packs, which which takes its size down. It was 1L, but now it can go down to medium. It takes its HP down a little bit. It changes some of its stats, but now it can also go on land. So I could use this thing on land if I wanted to. I just have to switch to the B packs to be able to do that. Lots of stuff. I can also assign more supporters. I did get an extra 2 here, so now they're also in here. Right now I can only have 6 supporters on my squad at once, but I think there's going to be something that allows me to get more, probably another one of those ship upgrades. So that just gives me more things I can do, and also more passive bonuses when I'm playing this game. We talked a little bit about power parts. We didn't show off one, so maybe I can do that here. Here you see some of the power parts that I have. Here's a booster, so now this unit can just move +1 at any time. Like, it gets an extra +1 to its movement. These, unlike skill programs, aren't permanent. I could take this booster off, and I could put it on something else though. So you can kind of mix and match these as you wish. What else can I show you here? I think that might be it. You see, if I go back here into missions, I can go in and do some of these different things. There will be some bonus combat missions. There's one that I've run into that said,
like,
"Hey,
DLC
you're ready."
bonus stuff, or just like
some are going to be DLC, but some are just, hey, you hit a number of prerequisites to unlock this bonus map, and this bonus map will get you some extra power parts, some extra money. Maybe you get a new unit out of it. There's also a bunch of secret units in here. If you fulfill certain conditions as you play, this was not a map where we needed to worry about the way we played to be able to unlock any bonuses. But this series has had a lot of things where you need to attack this unit with this very specific unit, or you need to use a very specific attack on a unit, or this guy needs to take down this many enemies. Lots of different conditions you need to fulfill to be able to unlock certain things, which are just secret bonus things that you don't have to have, but it is really cool to be able to unlock. Maybe some of the big bad guys can actually turn into allies if you do the right things with them.
Nice.
And this series has so much to offer. This game, I think, is really dense. I'm actually a little scared that this is the first one they officially brought over, because I think it's going to scare a lot of people in how much stuff it has, especially this mission structure where it's way more open than before. But I hope I showed you here that this game has a lot going for it. I think there's a lot to like here. And if you like any of these anime, if you like turn-based strategy games, if you like things like Fire Emblem, I think Super Robot Wars 30 is going to be pretty cool. They have announced 2 DLCs that are part of a season pass that you can get, that are going to add a bunch of new units from Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, or Sakura Wars, or Ultraman. So those new units will show up in some way. I'm not sure how they show up yet, but those will be a part of these. The first one comes out in November. The next one comes out in December, which actually means I think I'm not going to play this game for a bit until that DLC is out, because I want to be able to play with all of those units as well. So I think I'm going to table this game for now, come back to it when all that new stuff is out, and see what it's like then. But Bobby, I think that's it. That is Super Robot Wars 30. There's still so much more here that I feel like I didn't even scratch the surface of, but it's just one of my favorite series for all the customizability it has, and it's just really, really cool. Bobby,
yes.
Having heard all this, having seen all this, you gonna buy this game?
I will wait for the inevitable Game Pass release.
This game is not coming to Xbox. I can almost promise you that.
Not if Uncle Phil has anything to do with it.
We'll see. Uncle Phil, you should totally go and make a Bandai Namco your friend. That'd be great. All right, Bobby, let's get out of here. This has been Super Robot Wars 30. Really appreciate you coming on and dealing with me.
Totally fair. This has been fun,
All
man.
right.
Thanks.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.